much, Janusz, for the introduction, and good morning to all of you on the line, and thank you very much for attending this webinar. Today you will hear about controlled substances, and I really hope that this is not a new subject for you. You are aware about them and how to deal with them and what are the challenges for the life sciences industry at the moment. The agenda of the webinar will be as follows. We'll start with the basics. Basically, we'll look at the controlled substances, what are there, what are the challenges to deal with them, and why it's important to have a compliance system in your organization. Then we'll talk about the controlled substances compliance system, a project which was initiated by the Pistoia Alliance, and about compliance checker, which was the product which was developed based on this project. Then we'll look at a live demo of the compliance checker, and we'll end the webinar with a brief summary, and we'll give you then the chance to ask questions and receive answers. So let's see what a controlled substance is. If we look at the Oxford Dictionary, we found out that actually the definition is short, it's simplistic, maybe a little bit scary. It says that it's an illegal drug, but if we go further and search, for example, in Wikipedia or on DEA website, the Drug Enforcement Administration here in the United States, we actually find out that the controlled substances in general are drugs or chemicals whose manufacture, possession, or use is regulated by a government and is subject of legislative control, and may include illegal drugs and prescription medication. So, as you can see, controlled substances challenges started with the legislation, right? Because when you have to deal with registration, it's always it's not to say a problem, but it's something you need to be aware of, you have to respect, and you have to follow it. So the challenge of controlled substances actually starts with the legislation which exists at local, national, and international levels, and it's restricted to the production, import, export, supply, and use and possession of these substances. And furthermore, the legislation has to be interpreted, and you have to have the knowledge to transform the legal wording into scientific nomenclature to be useful and to understand it. And basically, you have to have a system which will convert the structure to name or name to structure, as it's illustrated in this slide. Also, as probably you know, you have to hold a license to conduct research across the field of these controlled substances, and this is not restricted just to the R&D. Also, other pharma operations are included here, and one example is the final product, for example. And why it's important to have a compliance system in place? I think the most important thing is the penalties. And probably, as you know, if the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration here in the U.S., comes on site and find out that you are not maintaining a compliance system for controlled substances, they can give you penalties. And the penalties actually are real. And as is illustrated in this slide, we're talking about big amount of money. We're talking about millions, which companies already face. And I'm not giving names here, but you can see that large retail pharmaceutical companies or wholesale distributions already paid fees or have suspensions because they didn't have a well record keeping of controlled substances of compliance in general. So to understand even more the challenge of controlled substances, I would like to challenge you a little bit and ask you your opinion. What substances which are presented in this slide do you think are controlled substances? And to help you a little bit, I will just put some names on this structure, and I would like to my colleague Janos to actually put on the screen tool, and I will ask you to vote, to ask you for your opinion, what you think, what compounds which are illustrated here are controlled substances or not.
Yeah, just check these structures because they're gonna disappear, unfortunately. And after the questionnaire shows up, you can just select one answer. So I think I'll just show you the questionnaire. Here you go. So please select one of the 5 answers. We give you a couple of time, right, Aurora?
Yes. So I think the poll is open now, so please vote.
Okay, I think time is up, right? Aurora,
Yep.
what do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, in this case, I close it. And now I shared the results with you. So it shows that 63% of the attendees say that all of them are controlled substances, and there is 38% who chose gamma hydroxy butyric acid, piperonol, ketamine, and amphetamine. And nobody chose the rest of it. Yeah. Okay, Aurora, back to your presentation.
Perfect. Actually, the 63% of you are correct. All of these compounds which are here on the slides are controlled substances. And that means not that they are, illegal. That means that you need to actually have paperwork. You have to show that the DEA that you know how to handle them, how to ship them, how to work with them, how to store them, and so forth. So even, the acetone, something which is used, every day in every lab, it's a controlled substance, believe it or not. And the challenge grows even more. Just think about the globalization which we're facing at the moment, where companies are actually working with CRO, contract research organizations, which most of the time are in different countries. And actually, when you conduct research in these countries and you ship compounds or you import, export, something like that, you actually have to be aware of the legislation in that particular country. And actually, it's your responsibility, your company responsibility, to know the legislation, to know if the compounds which probably are not controlled substances in the U.S. are actually controlled substances in different countries, as it's illustrated in this heat map here. So basically, you can see that some compounds which are not controlled substances in the U.S. are actually U.S. Controlled substances in UK or Switzerland. And just to give you some examples, just caffeine, probably you're not aware that even if it's not a controlled substance in any country, it's actually a controlled substance in China. So as you can see, company compliance can be a real pain, and it's one of the most important business issues. So it's really hard if you don't have, something to help you, if you don't have a system in place to help you that. You don't know where to stop, where to go, what to do. And as I said, you may face penalties and so forth. So what was described so far screamed for an urgent need to have a system that actually offered the ability to readily check if compounds fall under any compound compliance regulation, nationally, locally, nationally, and internationally. And not just that, the system also has to be robust and consistent and well-maintained. regardless of the geographical location, and also has to be updated with the rapidly changing legislation requirements. So the companies which are listed in this slide actually realize that this is a big issue, and actually there is no solution on the market for it. So they come together to the Pistoia Alliance, and for those of you which are not familiar with the Pistoia Alliance, I would like to briefly describe the organization, which is a non-profit organization which gathers together people from industry, vendors, publisher, academics, and put their brains together and brainstorm for projects which and issues which don't have a solution. So put together projects to solve this. So as I said, the Pistoia Alliance actually put together this project. So they started the CSCS, the Controlled Substances Compliance System project, in 2012, the end of 2012. They put together all the requirements and the RFP. They sent it out by the middle of 2013. 5 vendors responded to this proposal, and after rigorous selection, 2 vendors were selected to build a solution for this issue, and one was ChemAxon in collaboration with our partner Passport. So by the beginning of this year, we put together a tool which is called Compliance Checker, which was tested by the people which requested this project. So we have a UAT, user acceptance test. The feedback was actually amazing. The accuracy of the system, which was checked over 400 compounds, which are controlled substances and non-controlled substances, and also controlled substances which were hard to detect due to the interpretation of the legislation. The accuracy was almost 100% for most of the countries. And also the feedback about the tool was absolutely great. People thought that very easy to use. It's user-friendly, it's very intuitive. So by March of 2014, we actually demonstrated the tool. We show it to the community due to a webinar which was put together by the Pistoia Alliance. And as today, Compliance Checker is commercially available and ready to use in any organization. So briefly, let's look at the Compliance Checker itself and see what it is. Basically, it's a tool. It's a software content package which allows you to detect if a compound is a controlled substance or not based on chemical structure, but not just on that. Also allows you to search by text, by CAS number, by name, common name, IUPAC name, and so forth. It's built on the ChemAxon JChem-based technology, which is a well-known industry-leading Cheminformatics platform for over 16 years on the market, used by a lot of people. And it's actually based on Trace Checker, which was developed by our partners, Passport, and it's marketed in Japan since 2006 and currently used by 30 companies. And at that moment, it was developed just for the Japanese registration. So briefly, the mechanism is very simple. It's illustrated in the slide. You have a chemical structure, we input. Then you use the box, the judging mechanism, which I'll explain in a second. And you check the structure, if it's a controlled substance or not, against the regulation database. And as a result, you have the output if the substance is a controlled substance or not. Besides the regulation database, compliance checker also have a check history database where all the records, all the tasks which are done in compliance checker are actually recorded, and that's a very good way to show history, to show what was done to the inspector, to the DEA, for example. I know it's hard to read this slide, but here are just a few of the regulations we covered in compliance checker. We covered most of the European country, US, North America, and also Asian countries as well. But I think even more, the beauty of compliance checker is that actually it's highly customizable and allows you to create your own controlled substance database, add your own regulations, and so forth. A little bit of the use cases when you should use compliance checker. Basically, just to check whatever you hold, whatever compounds you have in your organization are legal or not. Then when you start to synthesize something, or you buy or you ship, to see if everything is legal, if everything is under control. And mostly, I think, to know this before new legislation become active. And as I said, not just research and development can benefit of compliance checker, but also all other departments as legal, forensic, purchasing, and shipping can benefit of compliance checker as well. So a little bit about the basic judgment mechanism, because you'll not be able to see in the demo, but just to explain you how it's used. Here's just an example of input structure, what input and what structure are in the database, and what results, what type of results you will get back. And just to emphasize again, this is based on JChem based technology from ChemAxon, and uses the superstructure search technology. The compliance checker actually detects various forms of the compound, so not just the exact compound, not just the exact input, but also to avoid omissions, other type of that compound are detected, like ether, ester, salts, and mixtures as well. And more than that, even regulated structures like side chains with one or more alkyl substituents are detected as well. As you can imagine, the legislation can be really hard to interpret, and in case of UK, it's actually even harder, because their legislation is more on the Marcus side, so that's something what compliance checker covers as well. So Marcus structure are detected. And beyond that, compliance checker can allow you to, check not just controlled substances, but substances which are toxic and dangerous, have some security issues, safety and health, environmental protection, and so forth. So we can go beyond that with compliance checker. A little bit about the deployment. It's very easy to deploy. There are different forms. You can deploy the system itself. It has a graphical user interface, the web client tool, which allows you to install it as it is, hosted in a cloud, or basically, on locally on your server, on your firewall, and that allows you to do quick checks and batch checks for everyone, which log in and give access to the system. Also can be used as a window client, mostly for batch processing for large SDF files, or can be integrated via web services with third-party applications like ELN, inventory system registration, and so forth. Also can be accessed via command line for batch processing and can be integrated with workflow type of tools like Pipeline Pilot and 9. So with that, I would like to give you a live demo of the tool itself. So to get a flavor of how Compliance Checker looks like and how you can use it. So as I said, Compliance Checker is a web-based application. Basically, you can use any type of browser, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, all are supported. Basically, when you add the URL in your web browser, you'll be greeted with the Compliance Checker login page where you will just enter your credentials and you will log in on the system. Get that my, okay. So after you enter your credential, you will see the main page of Compliance Checker, which by default is set up to the quick check. And as you can see on the left side, you have the structure window where you can input a structure by drawing it. So if you double click on the structure window, Marvin sketch will pop up, and you will be allowed to basically sketch a structure by using the toolbars along the canvas. As you see, you have the bonds, you have the atoms, and also the templates. So you can easily just sketch a compound. Or if you already have a name of the structure or a CAS number or UPAC number, you can easily just type it in. So I will just type, for example, hydrocodone. I will input it. So I'm inputting the name. And then I will transfer it into my structure window here on Compliance Checker. Underneath the structure window, I can see the check level. So basically the countries and the legislation I want to check this compound against. So I can just check and uncheck easily the countries here. So for this check, I will just use maybe US, Germany, and also let's put India and Japan. So have all the worlds here checked. There's also an option panel where you have more options to add. For example, you can add a report pattern, and I'll show in a second how you can build that to check if the compound is in a mixture or not, and also range of the last update. So you can add here some dates when the regulation was updated. And also you can check by comments, so you can put some comments here as well. So for this particular check, I will just use the setup just described. And after I hit the check, you see that very easily, almost instantly, I have the result. So I see here 6 matches. So I have some information here displayed based on what I selected to be outputted. So if you click on the Show Hide button here, you can actually can check and uncheck what type of information you want to output. So these are the fields which are available for you from database, which are stored in the database, and basically can check and uncheck what other information you want to add to your report. I'd like to mention that besides the category, you can see what countries this compound is actually regulated. So you can see in Japan and Germany and US, not in India. But also you can click on the link here on the reference column, and you can see the legislation itself, and you can look and check that as well. So that's also available. So after the quick check, now you can export the output in different type of files. So PDF, Excel, Word, and HTML are available. For example, we can just make a PDF report. If you click on that, an automatic PDF file is generated, and if you click on it, you can actually see the report as a PDF file, which you can further share it with your colleagues in collaboration, or just keep it on file for the audit. Let's go back. So this is a quick check you can perform using Compliance Checker. As I said, you can check what type of information you want to output in the report. I just want to show you that. So if you go in the master menu and then data field and report, here you have the list of report pattern lists. There are some already ready here, but you can easily edit them and check some other information which you want to add to a report. And also, you can set one by default, or you can add a new one, or delete existing one, and so forth. So as you see, very easy and intuitive to do that. Let's look at the other type of check you can perform using Compliance Checker. So suppose you have not just one compound, you have multiple compounds which are stored in a file, and you want to check them easily in one. So that's available as well. So going to the batch check menu, you can actually look for the file which contains that information. So in this case, let's just browse for a file here. You can upload the file, and then again you have the check level here. So you can again check some countries which you want to check the legislation against. Then you have the report format. So if you want to do Excel or SDF or HTML, Word output, so you can check one, or you can check two if you want. And then you can select the record to be reported. If you want to have all the records which are in the file, or just the hit only or not hit only. So there are different type of patterns you can select from, and also the report pattern here, the one which I previously showed you. So you can select what type of output you want to have for this particular compound. So for this check, I'll just do the entire record, and then again there are some other options here you can pick from. So let's just do check based on the fields I selected. And also here you have another option to basically keep the compounds as they were in the original file, or you can put them alphabetically by name. So I will just keep them as they are in the original file, and I will run a quick check. So now I have almost 300 compounds in this particular file, which I am checking against the Compliance Checker database. And as you see, the time for checking the entire database is quite fast. I'm already close to have the entire list, which is available in the SDF file checked against the Compliance Checker. So it's just a few seconds, 38 seconds basically to do that. You see if the structure, if the file itself contains some errors. Actually, compliance checker is capable of finding them and report them separately in a PDF file, so you can actually check them later and see what's wrong with them and run them again. And that's actually what happened with this file. You see that you have an error message saying that the batch is actually finished, but there are some records which are skipped because there were some structural errors. And I have actually the report here that I have 299 compounds in total. There were actually checked. I have, these are the number of hits, but there are 3 of them which are actually skipped. So I can generate the error file, and I can look at the structure. I can look at them with Marvin sketch, and I see what's wrong with them. Or I can open it with some other type of file and look at the results as well. I can also look at my PDF file to see the entire output. So it's downloading. And I can see which were the hits and which were not. So which were controlled substances and which were violent. So here are compounds. For those of them I don't have, which are not controlled substances, I don't have any record, of course. And for the ones which I have, probably I can see the error reported here as well. So as you can see, very easy to detect the ones which was error. Okay. So this is how you can use compliance checker. So again, there's a quick check available and batch check. So a single input, single structure input is available, and also you know, big files with many compounds, and it can be checked against that as well. As I said, not just by structure and you know, big SD files are available to use, but also text files. So for example, if you have compounds in inch keys, you can search them by text, just inputting in the search field here. And again, you have the same check level report forms, summary report, and so forth. So you can check text files as well, not just the SDF files. So you see that I have 2 compounds, and I have, so let me download this again. Let's look at it. So let's see that inch keys and the results. There were actually 0 hits, so none of the compounds which I have inputted are actually controlled substances. So that's the way you can use it. A little bit about administration, so how you can look at the entire substance master database. So as an administrator, you have the ability to see all of them. You can report them in different type of files. Also, you can group them for user by category. So for example, if you check frequently against certain regulation or a certain country, you can actually make groups and make the life easier for user to, instead of checking, you know, all the countries here, they can just have all of them, and or you know, just few of them grouped and just check one checkbox here, and the check will be run against that particular country. So there are different type of administrative features you can use to make the check even quicker and easier for users. Also, this can be set up to mail. So if you want to have the output generated directly to your email inbox, you can do that as well. So I'm just showing you a little bit of other features of the compliance checker, how it can be used. You can easily update the system. Basically, we are providing update files which can be called in the compliance checker. It can update the database with the new legislation as well, very, very easily. And probably the last thing I want to show you is about the history. So as I mentioned, all the tasks which were performed in compliance checker are actually recorded. So you can go in the history and see who used the system for what and what was done, and also you can easily make reports of the results and the searches and so forth. So this is a very good feature for keeping everything on file, especially for inspection. Also, we have a help guide. You can check that, and also Martin help as well. So there are direct links to that. So this is all about the compliance checker, how you can use it. So you have a little bit of snapshot of it. I just want to show you that we have a lot of information on our website, so you can check the more about it on our product page and compliance checker, and also on the Pistoia Alliance website. There are a lot of information about the CSCS project. And also, we published a paper in ABR, European Bioresearch Journal, about the compliance checkers. So that's available as well, and you can read more about control substances and compliance checker. Also, we have a demo site. We can, give you access to check it before you buy it, and you can check your own compounds. We can give you access to that as well if you want to do that. So in summary, I hope you know that compliance is important, and it's a big issue, and ChemAxon and Passport actually work together with the Pistoia Alliance to develop a product to solve this issue of controlled substances. So compliance checker is available, allows you to verify if a substance is controlled or not before you produce it, you import it, you export it, you supply, you use it, you process, or you dispose. Also, I'd like to mention that each company, even universities, have web pages and guidances how you can deal with the drug enforcement audit inspections. And what I'm showing to you right now is just a web page from the University of Michigan, which have some guidance what you have to have ready when DA inspections are coming on site. And I think what I like the most is the tips of the DA inspection audit, what to do when they are coming on site. And I really like the last sentence here where they said, be polite and cordial, and to not argue or debate with the investigators. So before the DA comes on site and arrests you, hopefully not, use compliance checker, be prepared, and stay out of jail. So with that, I would like to thank you very much for your attention.